Who has the most pressure going to the Super Bowl? The answer might surprise you. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Why did Bill Belichick not make the Hall of Fame? And the Vikings firing their GM. Welcome to Hold My Helmet. Will Reichling, your host here, going to get into those topics. We'll start with who has the most pressure going to the Super Bowl. The answer is going to shock you. Let's hit it right now. Let's go. I think when you ask someone, who has the most pressure in the Super Bowl? A lot of the people will say the answer is most likely Sam Darnold. You know, he struggled with the Jets, struggled with the Panthers, had a great season with the Vikings, shit the bed against the Lions, shit the bed against the Rams, had a solid season this year. Seahawks were an elite team, one of the best teams in the league. Threw 6 interceptions in 2 games against the Rams in the regular season. Had the comeback win in the second game, but still was showing that maybe he chokes in big games. But then you see in the playoffs, the last game against the Niners in the regular season and the playoffs, he's come through. He's kind of put that narrative to bed. He's exercised those demons. So I really don't think Sam Darnold has the most pressure going to the Super Bowl. I actually think it's Drake Maye. I think Drake Maye has the most pressure going into the Super Bowl. Look, I will be honest, Drake Maye has found ways to win in these playoffs, but he has a 56% completion percentage, 5 total touchdowns, 5 turnovers, and an 84 passer rating. It's not good. Not very good. If the Patriots lose and he plays poorly in the Super Bowl, people are going to say he's overrated. He got lucky. The schedule in the regular season was too easy. The quarterback matchups in the playoffs were too lucky for him. Now, if they lose and he plays well, that'll kind of quiet the narrative. You still might hear that a little bit with, oh, their schedule was too easy. They didn't belong here. But the narrative would be more about the Patriots as a team over Drake Maye as a player. Now, if they win, obviously, all of that goes to bed. But if he doesn't play well in this game and they lose, be prepared to hear talks about Drake Maye being overrated. So I think he has a ton of pressure because not only has he had an easy schedule in the regular season, not only were the quarterback matchups in the playoffs very lucky. Justin Herbert has not played well in a single playoff game in his career. CJ Stroud completely shit the bed in that playoff game. And Bo Nix got hurt, so he didn't even get to play Bo Nix. And on top of that, he did not play well in those 3 games. He played solid against the Texans, numbers-wise, but his turnovers were insane. In the Chargers game, he didn't play well. In the Broncos game, he wasn't good at all. I mean, the weather sucked, but he was not good. So the pressure is all on Drake Maye in this game. And I know the pressure really isn't on the Patriots as a team because no one thought they would be here this year. They're pretty much playing with house money. Everyone knows Seattle has a better roster. But a lot of the narrative is on Drake Maye having a bad playoff run and maybe him being possibly overrated, which I think is fucking ridiculous. But who knows? A lot of people feel that way. And if he loses this game and doesn't play well, that narrative is just going to grow and grow and grow until he finally gets over the hump and win that Super Bowl. And we don't know if he'll ever get back. We've seen Dan Marino make the Super Bowl in the second year, never make it back. Joe Burrow make the Super Bowl in the second year, never make it back. So you never know. So this might be his only chance. So a lot of pressure here on Drake Maye. For the actual Super Bowl predictions, I kind of went into it a little bit last week. I said I think the Seahawks are going to win. I think the Patriots offensive line is going to struggle against that Seahawks defensive line, and I'm going to stick with that. I think the Seahawks have the better roster, and if Sam Darnold plays within himself, doesn't turn the ball over, doesn't need to make crazy plays, doesn't even need to play great like he did against the Rams. He just needs to manage the game because they have the better players, they have the better team. This can be an easy win for the Seahawks if played right. If they play this game the right way, they can win this game easily. The main way for the Patriots to win is Drake Maye has to have an elite game. Drake Maye has to have one of the best games of his career. If Drake Maye plays at an elite level and Sam Darnold turns the ball over a lot, the Patriots have a fighting chance. Their offensive line has struggled at times this season, and that Seattle D-line is very overwhelming. So I'm still going to stick with my guns and go with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm sure a lot of people were shocked because Bill Belichick was not listed as a first ballot Hall of Famer. And maybe it's because of the cheating aspect. You had Spygate, Spygate 2, Deflategate, and a lot of gates there. When you have a lot of gates, maybe they wanted to penalize him and say, hey, you can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer if you're going to be cheating this much. But we all know it's the NFL. Almost all of these teams do things like this. It's just they happen to get caught. So they probably were one of the worst teams of all time at getting caught at this shit. But even in Deflategate, people love to call the Patriots cheaters after Deflategate. But people forget, they switched the balls out at halftime. They realized at halftime, switched the balls out. Then New England went on to score 28 unanswered points after that. So I digress, but like people want to call them cheaters. They blew out the Colts even after the balls were switched. So I digress. It's probably a combination of both the cheating and him pissing people off and rubbing people the wrong way. And this is a valuable life lesson. If you're winning and you're successful, people are going to tolerate a lot. People are going to tolerate you being a dick. not talking to them respectfully, even kind of brushing people off and pushing people away. But once you start to slip, once you start to lose a little bit, and once that success starts to drop a little bit, the tolerance for that goes drastically down. So once that success, it's great when you're winning. Once that starts to slip even the slightest bit, people will turn on you. So this was bound to happen. Once Bill Belichick kind of fell off a little bit, got fired, he didn't get a job in the NFL again because he rubbed all the owners and the GMs the wrong way. And the GMs were like, why would I hire this guy? He's just going to get me fired. And he's definitely rubbed the media the wrong way. Not answering questions respectfully. A plethora of shit that Bill Belichick's done to piss people off. And I don't agree with it. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, obviously in my eyes. He's one of the best head coaches of all time, if not the best head coach of all time. He's won the most Super Bowls, been to the most Super Bowls, second most career wins. I mean, if that's not first ballot Hall of Famer, what is? When you're successful, yeah, people are going to put up with your shit. But be careful, because the second you fall off even the slightest bit, all those negatives and all those cons and those headaches that you've given that company or that organization, they're going to hold it against you, because especially the NFL, it's a what have you done for me lately type of business. And lately, Bill Belichick's been a big time pain in the ass. So the Vikings GM got fired. That was unexpected. I mean, you've heard rumblings about it for a few years now, but no one thought that this was coming at this time. And I said this last week, moving off Sam Darnold for JJ McCarthy is a fireable offense. It's a fireable offense. I knew someone was going to go down for this. Whether Kevin O'Connell was pounding the table for Darnold or not in the offseason is unknown, but my guess is O'Connell played a factor in the decision of not giving Darnold the contract Seattle gave him, or at least coming close to it. Minnesota did not give Darnold the years that Seattle gave him, and they didn't give him the guarantee of him being the starter moving forward. So if Minnesota really wanted him back, they would have given him more. They would have tried at least to, if not match the years, or exceed it if they really wanted Darnold that bad. So that was a fireable offense. Whether that was on Kevin O'Connell or the GM, it looks like they're putting the blame on the GM. That's what it looks like to me. But not only that, not only the Sam Darnold aspect in free agency, this guy's not have great drafts. In fact, he's had a lot of terrible drafts. And the draft pick of JJ McCarthy, while at the time it seemed like it made sense, a couple picks later, the Denver Broncos got Bo Nix. And everyone thought that JJ McCarthy was a better prospect than Bo Nix, which I never understood because JJ McCarthy barely threw the ball in college. You saw Bo Nix with a ton of throws in college, led all of college in completion percentage, was very successful, very accurate on short throws, was very athletic. If anything, it looks like Bo Nix is more athletic than JJ McCarthy. That was not the discussion going into this draft. The discussion was JJ McCarthy had more physical ability than Bo Nix. Honestly, Bo Nix has a big arm. It might be right up there with JJ McCarthy. I think Bo Nix is a better athlete. I think Bo Nix is just a better football player than JJ McCarthy. So the fact that that front office decided, okay, we're going to take JJ McCarthy over Bo Nix. So that's two fireable offenses right there. You draft JJ McCarthy over Bo Nix, and then you choose to move off Sam Darnold to roll with JJ McCarthy. And JJ McCarthy, whether he improved or not as the season went on, he clearly cannot stay healthy. I mean, everything is an injury with this guy, and you don't even know if he's going to get through half a season, let alone a full season. So whether he has the ability or not, I mean, that's still very much up in the air, his ability in this league. But whether he has ability or not, he can't even stay on the field. So that has been a disaster so far, and it's sad because the Vikings went 9-8. Imagine they had Sam Darnold. But no, they decided off of 2 games, not the aggregate of the entire season. 2 games, Lions-Rams game, that Sam Darnold was not good enough. And now it cost the GM his goddamn job. Thanks, guys. Excited for the Super Bowl. I hope you all win your bets. We're going to have one more podcast for the Super Bowl reaction. Then I'm going to take a little break. It's been an awesome season. I mean, really, it's been an amazing season so far. I can't wait for it to keep going. I want to make some money. I hope you guys do too. Thank you. Take care. I'll see you soon.